right, everybody, welcome to this month's edition of my webinar. My name is Deanna Snyder, and I thank you guys for taking time out of your busy schedule and logging on. We are in Central Florida, and it is at the middle of July, and there are some crazy storms in our area tonight, and so if the reception's a little wobbly or we get disconnected, I promise I'll re-record it and post it on the web. So just so you know that. So hopefully we can get through this next hour and not have any issues. So welcome to Women's Health Essentials. All right. So I'm going to start by asking you, what is really important? And I want you to have the wisdom and courage to build your life around that answer. You just kind of sit a minute and think to yourself, what is your intention tonight? And what do you want to get out of this webinar? And while you're thinking about that, again, I just want to say thank you for attending tonight. And my intention for you is for you to hear something that's going to allow you to move that needle towards your health, to making you and your health the most optimal it can be. So a little bit about myself. As you know, my name is Deanna Snyder, and I've had over 30 years experience in the healthcare industry, and from what I've learned, that our healthcare system is actually, it's geared for those acute issues that we have, but where I find that it's lacking is with our own preventative care and our long-term chronic care. And what I have found, that 90% of our adult onset ailments that we have is actually lifestyle driven. And that was reiterated when I went back to school and I became a holistic health coach for the Integrative Nutrition Institute of Integrative Nutrition. My background's also with critical care and women's health marketing. And currently, right now, I am a community volunteer, and my passion is to help people find an alternative to their health using prevention and proactive care. So for me, I have been involved in the healthcare system, not only from a worker, healthcare provider, but also as from a patient aspect, where I've had many allergies, I've had chronic pain and inflammation, many food restrictions and food sensitivities. So I've been on both sides and definitely have found my path of natural solutions, and I'm very grateful for it. So let's get started. So I love this graphic, and I just want to give props and shouts to the Live Naturally team. If you are familiar with Jenna Cross and Dana Moore, this is actually their presentation that they created, and I found it to be awesome. So this is what I'm going to share with you guys tonight. Of course, we're not going to reinvent the wheel, and I hope I do it some justice, because they are awesome preventers. So this pretty much sums up the differences between men and women. Men have this one on-off switch. They're on, they're off. They're hungry, they're not. They, are focused or not focused, and the list goes on and on. Where women are complex. We have multiple dials and buttons and multiple moods and multiple situations that we experience. Our symptoms alone don't even follow the normal signs and symptoms of healthcare. Like with a traditional heart attack, men have classic signs and symptoms. But with women, we often have all these vague symptoms that we have that can lead us to cardiovascular disease. So we are unique. We have very many complexities, and we are very layered. And tonight, we're going to go over some of those uniquenesses that we have and talk about the difference for hormones. So our endocrine system, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And hormones are essential for every activity of life. and what we are involved in. So, hormones are significant for our growth and development. Of course, it's very much governing over our metabolism. Either it's too high or too low. If our hormones or the endocrine system are not in check and balance, then we also have some nutrient deficiencies that we will experience. Our endocrine system itself brings our whole body to homeostasis and balance. And it's incredibly complex. And the difference between our hormones that we secrete or don't secrete, and whether or not we are female or male, affect us in a multitude of different ways. And so tonight we're going to go over some of these and what the roles and functions that it actually serves. So tonight we'll discuss our foundational support, what a healthy liver can actually do for our bodies, how we can balance our metabolism and blood sugar, how our adrenal glands actually govern our support and our energy levels. We're going to talk about our thyroid, and then the production of estrogen and progesterone. So all of that is going to be covered today. So our traditional approach with the traditional healthcare that we have, this is it. We go to a doctor, we seek help, and they prescribe a medication. And we have the most expensive healthcare in the world, and we also have the most sickest patients in the world as well. We are not healthier. We're actually sicker than most countries, starting with our standard American diet, which I like to refer to as SAD. Our healthcare system is governed, like I said earlier, to fix those acute things, but our long-term care and our chronic disease and just having prevention is where we lack. Now, I'm not saying that we don't need it, because we really do. I think there has to be a balance between modern Western medicine and more homeopathic, more alternative medicine. So I always like to say an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And tonight I'm going to show you how each bit of prevention and what we can do with natural solutions is going to help in the long run. So this guy is going to get his prescription filled, and typical fashion, he's asking, "I'll have an ounce of prevention, please." And we're not going to find that with prescription drugs. We're not going to find that in the typical traditional medical standpoint that we have right now. So with essential oils, they are natural aromatic compounds found in plants. They can be found in the roots, seeds, stems, barks, and leaves, and flowers, and they are distilled and extracted for their essential health benefits. Now, essential oils are not a fad. They have been around for thousands and thousands of years. And what we'll learn tonight, that essential oils are not all created equally. They are definitely adaptogenic, and they help our bodies maintain the most optimal health that we can be. So why do we use essential oils? So they are 50 to 70 times more powerful than dried herbs, which is wonderful, because a lot of our ancient Chinese medicine used dried herbs. And these essential oils are extracted from the plant, and they are more potent and powerful because it is just the essential oil of the actual plant. And what I like about it is, too, that as it is bottled and harvested and put into these bottles, they have a tendency to have a longer lifespan as well. They don't expire like dried herbs do. They also contain a dozen of unique chemical compounds, providing diverse benefits. So with plants, each plant is different. So then our bodies, when we consume essential oils, either putting them on our skin topically, aromatically, or ingesting them internally, our body doesn't get immune to the essential oil, and we have them continually working. As you know, in some pharmaceutical medications, you may take a medication and then it stops working. It's because of the synthetic compounds that our bodies then get used to, and we become immune to it. So our bodies do not develop a resistance to normal variations of plants, therefore allowing the essential oil to work and benefit our needs. And essential oils also work at that cellular level. A lot of essential oils actually repair those cellular parts of our organs and our body, and do so as it replicates, every 90 days or so, every 6 months or so. We ourselves as human beings, the collection of cells and neurons and tissue are not the same things that we were, months and months ago, because our cells are constantly replenishing and replicating themselves. And also, we have a wonderful amount of side benefits instead of side effects. So if you're using lavender, say, for skin issues, you're also going to then reap the benefit of lavender when you breathe it in, as it's very uplifting and calming of anxieties. So essential oils are not all created equal as they are in the marketplace. And I always like to refer to this analogy. I heard it and I thought it was absolutely wonderful. People are using essential oils and they go to Walmart, or they go to Walgreens, or they go to Bed Bath & Beyond and they purchase an essential oil. Well, that essential oil, they get home and they work and they put it on their bodies and they find out that it doesn't work. And they're wondering, well, essential oils just don't work. But that's not the case, because they're not using a therapeutic grade essential oil as doTERRA. And with doTERRA, we have a verified pure process that we test our essential oils with the farmers that are partnered globally throughout the world. And these farmers, use their land and they take care of their land, and they're not putting heavy pesticides on. They're not putting, things on it that would harm the plant, that would then contaminate the essential oil. So we, as doTERRA, will third-party test these essential oils from the time that it's harvested to barreled, and then when it's back to our company in Salt Lake, we'll test it again to verify that it's pure, that it's potent, that it's safe. And at any time along the supply chain that it is not pure, potent, and safe for consumption, then it is thrown back into the supply chain, and other essential oil companies will then pick it up. But the analogy that I had spoke to of earlier was essential oils are like maple syrup. So if you have maple syrup and you go to Vermont and you tap the tree, it's the most pure, beautiful maple syrup there is. So if you go to the grocery store and you buy Aunt Jemima or Mrs. Butterworth's maple syrup, it has high fructose corn syrup, it has caramel coloring, it has other types of synthetic agents, and there is absolutely no maple syrup in the Mrs. Butterworth or Aunt Jemima maple syrup. So that's how I equate essential oils out in the marketplace. It's basically all Mrs. Butterworth and no pure maple syrup. So I want you to understand that when we talk about essential oils and how to use the doTERRA products. So lavender is a wonderful essential oil that is one of my favorites. If you have it, just go ahead and take it out take a whiff, put some in your hands, breathe it in, soothe it on your skin. It just kind of calms things down. It's very soothing to the skin. It also causes healthy regeneration of skin cells. I know I use lavender essential oil after a long day in the hot sun, or if I'm cooking and I accidentally burn myself, I'll grab this and it soothes the skin and it helps regenerate my skin cells. It helps support normal hormone levels, which we'll talk about. It promotes a wonderful restful night's sleep. It relaxes the mind, and it decreases feelings of anxiety and stress. And lavender is one of my favorite essential oils that I use on a daily basis. I start my day with lavender, and I end my night with lavender. It is a wonderful, peaceful essential oil. Now, frankincense is another one of my go-to essential oils. It's the foundational for healthy hormone function, and it promotes healthy cellular activity and response. So our cells are constantly turning over. They can get damaged. And when you have frankincense on board, when those new cells start to replenish itself, it helps stimulate this great healthy cellular growth. It's very stimulating and elevating to the mind. It's wonderful if you're having any type of anxiety. It instills, when you diffuse it, instills feelings of calmness. I put frankincense on daily over my heart. I'll put it under my tongue to help boost my immune system. It helps with decreasing inflammation, and it helps balance the whole endocrine system. So frankincense is an amazing essential oil. And so if you can, take 2 to 3 drops under your tongue twice a day, and that will help your immune system and your endocrine system thrive. So an ounce of prevention. So what can you do to help live a good, healthy lifestyle, right? So proper hydration is a must. You know, flushing out our kidneys and our liver, and if we're dehydrated, you know, our cells are very shriveled. You know, they're not healthy. It's kind of like if you do instant potatoes. This is a great analogy. So dried potatoes, you just add water and they poof up to have these beautiful potatoes. Now, I'm not advocating dry potatoes at all, but if you find yourself dehydrated, and think of yourself as those dried potato flakes. So as you're drinking a lot of water, you know, that's helped plumping your cells. It's helped clearing your mind. It's helped flushing your kidneys. It's helped flushing your liver. Our liver is a wonderful detoxification stomping grounds for the, you know, for the trash. So anything that is processed in our body, it's going to go through that liver. If you also add a drop of lemon or any citrus oil to your water, that will help alkaline your body. And when you have an alkaline body, then it stays in the most optimal health. Another thing to do is reduce your caffeine intake. That helps with an ounce of prevention as well. Eat 3 balanced meals a day. You know, as we go through the day, you don't want to have your body in a state of starvation, because when you do decide to eat, you might then overeat. And it also helps maintain a healthy glucose level. So your blood sugars are actually going to stay leveled and maintained. Then, of course, you want to diffuse essential oils throughout the day. Frankincense is something that I have going on a lot of times. Lavender, I have on guard diffusing. I'll do the emotional aromatherapy oils as well. My favorite combination is doing balance and motivate. It's a wonderful, uplifting diffuser blend, and it's also going to help ease your anxiety. It's going to lift your mood, and it's going to give your body the support that you need. If you know somebody that can do an aroma touch technique, you know, or if you give them, you know, see if you can trade off with somebody. It's an amazing treatment. I always offer 1 complimentary session, And what it does is it lays 8 oils on your back, and it decreases your stress, increases your immune system, decreases inflammation, and then it brings your whole body to a state of balance and homeostasis. And it's a wonderful, wonderful treatment. Unfortunately, I give more than I receive. So if you are interested in getting an aroma touch, just seek me out and we'll get that for you. So a fundamental supplement that we have for an ounce of prevention is our whole food supplements, or our lifelong vitality. And this actually has a 30-day money-back guarantee. It is a wonderful supplement. A lot of my friends were taking a supplement that they've been using, and I said, just give it a try. As you're ready to purchase another set of supplements, go ahead and use Lifelong Vitality. And they pretty much said, yeah, okay, I'll get my 30-day free supply of vitamins because, I know it's not going to work, but it does. It's an amazing it's an amazing supplement. This actually moves my needle in my overall health and wellness, and I found an amazing support with it. I found that my inflammation levels were much lower. It boosted my energy levels immensely. And it does that at a cellular level with the mitochondria of the cells. It supports healthier cellular immune function. So I find out I'm not getting as sick as much as I used to. It helps clear that brain fog by supporting mental clarity and healthy brain function. It supports healthy bone with calcium, magnesium, zinc, and other vitamins. And it also supports a healthy liver function. And we cannot live without our liver. And so it helps with that for an effective filtration, because we all know what happens when we don't take out the trash. Things get stinky, things get toxic, and our liver and lymphatic system is that trash collecting agent of our body. And it also provides a systematic benefit of vitality and wellness associated with optimal intake of nutrition. We may be eating the most nutritious diet that we can, but our soil is so depleted and we're not getting those rich nutrient foods like our ancestors did. So 1, knowing your farmers, and 2, having a good supplement is so key an ounce of prevention. And what we want to do is we want to start this early in our lives, because it is like an investment into our health, in our future. So another thing with the Lifelong Vitality supplements is that low blood sugar is a stressor. It's on the body, and it causes a release of cortisol. Now, with the release of cortisol, that has a whole lot of implications as well. It gets us in that fight or flight mode that our ancestors and our had. When we were back in the caveman days, cortisol is released when we're under stress to help us with that fight or flight. So when we were getting chased down by that saber-toothed tiger, we were able to release that stress, that cortisol, and that allowed us to move and get past it. But now, the release of cortisol and the stress that we have these days, could be our jobs, our lifestyle that we have. And so that puts an amazing amount of stress on our body. And it helps regulate our entire endocrine system. So I always recommend that, start your day with a good quality protein and with your LLV, and never skip a meal, because that's going to help sustain you and keep your body at that most optimal level. So another ounce of prevention is our DDR prime. And this to me is a non-negotiable along with the Lifelong Vitality Pack, because DDR prime actually means damaged DNA repair. So it is a cellular repair in a bottle, and our cells are constantly repairing itself, our cell cycles, each cell lives and dies. And so when that new cell is being reborn again, this helps at that cellular level. It's supportive of healthy response of all body systems. It helps balances the estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. Now this comes in a DDR prime essential oil where you can put 2 to 3 drops under your tongue or in a little veggie cap. And you can take that 2 to 3 times a day, or you can take 2 soft gels daily. And there is a lot of studies coming out from Johns Hopkins with the DDR prime. It contains some clove, which is a high antioxidant. It contains frankincense. It contains niaouli oil. It has a lot of good essential oils for that cellular repair. And for me, it helps with that inflammation as well. And it can help stop bad cells from occurring. So when you're imbalanced, what happens? So these are some of the symptoms that you may experience or know somebody who has experienced, depression, irritability, anxiety, moodiness. We can have digestive problems. We can have excessive sweating. We can have food cravings, fatigue, where we can't go to sleep. We can lose muscle mass. We can have a weight gain, weight loss, low libido. And those are really key. So when the body is out of balance, it is sending certain signals to ourselves for help. And so that's what we're going to help do tonight. So how do you care for your liver? So a healthy liver function is the underpinning of hormone balance. It's one of the best ways to achieve and maintain good overall health. So be kind to your liver. Like I said earlier, we cannot live with our liver. It helps eliminate processed foods. One way to be kind to your liver is to eliminate processed foods, because all those chemicals that we have in our food, compounded with everything else, is not good for the liver health. Reducing our exposure to toxins. What we put on and in our bodies, and what we clean our households with, our environmental toxins as well, that adds up, and all that gets processed through the liver. You want to drink plenty of water again to facilitate the excretion of toxic and excess substances. You don't want to drink alcohol excessively. And the liver is dependent upon many nutrients to complete its own job of breaking down and detoxifying excess and toxins. So keeping that liver optimal and healthy is definitely key. So how do you care for your liver? So geranium is a wonderful essential oil that you can actually apply over your liver and adrenal glands. And your liver is going to be located right under your rib cage there. Right under your right breast, and you can apply the geranium over that, and your adrenal glands actually sit on top of your kidneys and your lower back. So the Zendocrine complex is wonderful for daily support, but the Zendocrine oil soft gels you want to take regularly as a part of a 30-day cleanse. And a good cleanse, 3 times a year, really helps regenerate that liver, and it helps get rid and dump of those toxins. So utilizing a non-toxic and free from synthetic dyes and fragrances in your home, that's a huge start. So an easy way to start, is cleaning your house with On Guard, On Guard Cleaner Concentrate, which is a wonderful all-purpose cleaner. Using the On Guard laundry detergent, using the On Guard hand soap, foaming, all of these little things that you're doing is reducing your load. I pretty much have, I do have a chemical-free home with synthetic chemicals. Mine are only, the essential oils. And I'm really sensitive to spelling synthetic synthetic cleaners and hand washing soap and things like that. My dad, this one I, found kind of alarming. He had gone into, we were at a restaurant, or we were at a place where I had dropped him off. He had to use the restroom really quick. And so he came back in the car, and he had washed his hands like he's supposed to. But the amount of fragrance that was on his hands from that little trip was just overpowering. And it really drove the fact home that, these synthetic agents are everywhere. So it was pretty alarming. So how do you take care of your pancreas? So Slim and Sassy is a wonderful essential oil. It can be applied diluted to the back of your thighs, to your abdomen. It helps support your metabolism. Slim and Sassy helps regulate your blood sugar where insulin is produced in your pancreas. It helps minimize cellulite, and it releases excess water. So you can take Slim and Sassy 2 to 3 drops in a capsule of water, or 3 to 5 times daily. For me, I particularly don't care for the taste of Slim and Sassy, so I will either diffuse this or put it on topically, or use the soft gel, and then I don't have that. The Slim and Sassy gum is amazing. It tastes wonderful, and it really curbs your appetite. And you get 1 drop of Slim and Sassy per piece of gum. So it's a really nice way to help in the afternoon. It helps, reduce your cravings for sweets. It's really good. The flavor lasts a long time, several hours. In fact, my jaws always get tired of chewing before the flavor wears out. But Slim and Sassy is a wonderful way to help take care of our pancreas and regulate our blood sugar. So here are our adrenals. So our adrenals release cortisol. And if you have, adrenal fatigue, or, you're feeling tired all the time, it's because your adrenal glands, are responsible for that fight or flight response. But it's also responsible for you waking up in the morning, feeling energized throughout your day. The levels will dip down in the evening, so your body can then produce melatonin to sleep. So your adrenal glands sit right on top of your kidneys, and those are in the lower back area on either side. And what happens when your body reduces or has a stressful situation, it stimulates those adrenal glands to produce cortisol. And then over time, adrenal exhaustion occurs, and then you have low cortisol levels. And then it makes the body less able to respond to stress. And then it's a whole, vicious cycle. So one way to care for your adrenal glands is using calming oils like Serenity and Balance. Those help, ease those stress levels. It helps calms those feelings of anxiousness. And then you can also try this wonderful roller ball combination of 10 drops of geranium, rosemary, lemongrass, and frankincense in a 10 ml bottle, and then fill the rest up with fractionated coconut oil and apply that over your adrenal glands. And do this, a couple times a day. So as you get out of the shower, make sure that you have your oils there on your countertop, so then you can use them, You can also put them on the bottom of your feet as well, but definitely put it over your adrenal glands, over your back, in your low back area. And do this, at nighttime and in the morning. So our thyroid. So, a lot of people have underactive thyroids, overactive thyroids, and it's from it's our diet, and so it is one of those things that we have endured. And if you have issues with your thyroid, of course, it's not a life sentence. It's, changing our habits. If our adrenal glands are off, our thyroid will be off as well. So thyroid problems, specifically hypothyroidism, are often a consequence of diet and lifestyle. So check your diet, make sure you're eating whole plant foods, you're eating, you know, non-hormoned, non-antibiotic meats, and make sure your water supply is clear and clean. And stay away from fluorides. A lot of our water supply has fluoride in it, and that affects our thyroid gland immensely. So, you know, alkalizing our water using citrus oils is very helpful as well. So here's a great essential oil blend. You can do 10 drops of clove, 10 drops of myrrh, 10 drops of frankincense and lemongrass. Put it in a 10 ml bottle and then rub it over your thyroid area and feed 3 times a day. And then also make sure you take your DDR prime, because that's going to help benefit and help with that damaged DNA repair. And usually when we have thyroid issues, we've got some damage going on there. So let's talk about caring for our ovaries. So hormone replacement therapy, or HRT, has been in the forefront for a long time, and they are finding that HRT, or hormone replacement therapy, actually increases our risk of breast cancer and other types of cancer. It will also increase the risks of stroke, and it will increase the risk of cardiovascular disease. So what do we do then? And so I'm going to show you this graphic here. It's a little complex, but I'm going to walk you through it. So we have these receptors for our hormones. And so this one receptor here for hormone A, it goes out and it has the receptor then goes into it with the hormone levels. And then the next one, the cell targets for hormones A and B, and then the target cells for hormone B. For some reason, I'm having a hard time saying hormone today. So those receptor sites are going to be key for this next slide that we're going to show here. But each of our cells and each of our cellular receptors, you know, they all have these pieces and parts like a puzzle that fits. So if, you know, it's looking for that one specific hormone, and if it doesn't fit, you know, it moves on. But if it does fit, then, you know, it links up to it. So we have these things in our environment called xenoestrogens. And what they are, it's a man-made potent endocrine disruptor that acts like estrogen in our body. So all those little pieces and parts that we were showing for the estrogen receptors A and B, if these xenoestrogens will then mimic real estrogen, then we have issues with our bodies, and you know, our endocrine system gets disruptive. So what are xenoestrogens? So like I said, they're man-made, they're potent endocrine disruptors. They act like estrogen in our bodies. So you've got these foreign agents coming in, and it disrupts and causes havoc. It's found in a lot of things. So plastic water bottles, our makeup, our lotions, processed foods, contraceptives, cleaners. There's so much. Xenoestrogens are so toxic to our bodies. A lot of things now that I'm looking at, you know, I'm being very specific on, you know, that I don't have any parabens or you know, colored dyes in my makeup. I'm making sure that it's a clean source of makeup. These xenoestrogens are actually 100 to 1,000 times more potent than our own natural estrogens. And they just, you know, like I say, they call havoc on our body. And what it does is it gives our hormones out of balance. So a lot of people that may have estrogen dominance from this imbalance, you know, we have these mood swings and depression around our cycles. You know, we have weight gain, we have breast tenderness, we have some swelling, we have variations or skip cycles of infertility. We have vaginal dryness or itchiness. We have excessive or scanty blood flow during our periods. We have cyclical insomnia, night sweats, and fatigue, and so much more. And this was me back in the day when I used to have my uterus and ovaries, and I would have loved to have learned that these xenoestrogens were so key. And I was burning candles. I was eating highly processed foods. I was putting every kind of lotion and potion on my body that wasn't pure or natural. And I was feeling the effects of it. And it had led me to a hysterectomy. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen for you, but looking back on my life and what my health has been, this would have been so key and so important. So what are phytoestrogens? So we've got the xenoestrogens, and now you're thinking, well, maybe phytoestrogens aren't good, but they are actually good. So they're supportive of normal hormone functions in women. They contain no actual estrogen. They protect our tissue from the effects of xenoestrogens and other hormonal pollutants. And they set us up so our body can produce what is needed and in proper order. So many of our essential oils contain these phytoestrogens, which are adaptogenic and supportive to our hormone balance in our body. So as our PMS and monthly cycles happen, we can get excessive cramping. Our flow is caused by, regulated by all of our hormone imbalance, generally too much estrogen, being estrogen dominance, and having a diet supporting of, high sugar, poor diet, lots of caffeine, lots of alcohol, stress, lack of exercise, actually exacerbate or worsen the symptoms. So you can help your monthly cycle and, by using these phytoestrogens and cleaning up your diet and helping. So, our husbands then will not have to feel like they've got to leave town when it's that monthly time. I think this is a cute little cartoon. Hey, honey, how you feeling today? Well, let me tell you. So this is our normal ebb and flow of our estrogen levels, and sometimes we feel like we're all over the place because we truly are. Our hormone levels ebb and flow in a perfect 28-day cycle. Here on the 14th day, our estrogen is going to be at its peak, and then as it falls, then we want our progesterone levels then to take over. But when the estrogen falls, our liver has to work even harder to help detoxify, and doing so, making sure that it has enough nutrition and nutrients to do so. So all those things that we mentioned earlier on good supportive liver health and prevention will also help with the ebb and flow of our cycles. So once the progesterone rises after ovulation, if it is too low or not enough, then PMS symptoms occur. So having this, a good healthy liver and good healthy hormones is definitely helpful. So with menopause, I love this cartoon. I'm still hot, but it comes in flashes now. I think that is hilarious. So during these years of perimenopause, our ovaries sometimes make too much estrogen and too much progesterone, and sometimes too little. So we have a wide variety of unpleasant symptoms. So at menopause, afterwards, our estrogen levels dip significantly, and resulting in fatigue, vaginal dryness, discomfort during intercourse, bone loss, or more. So for me, for my history with my hysterectomy and everything, I'm actually not allowed to have any type of estrogen producing things, but I have found taking the LLV and the essential oils, I don't have that brain fog anymore. I don't have all the symptoms that was stated. My vitamin D levels are up. I just had some blood work done. Everything is good. And so I equate that to my clean diet, eating habits, and then also the support and the prevention with the supplements that I'm taking. So a blend of the following essential oils contains some phytoestrogen and support a normal endocrine health and body. So clary sage is a wonderful blend that you can rub on your tummy, rub on your wrists and the bottom of your feet, and what that will do is it will help release muscle tension, it helps elevate mood, and it helps balance your hormones. Coupled with some lavender, which has helped with cooling, calming and soothing, and help reduce stress. Bergamot helps ease muscle tension, so you can put that on too. I love diffusing bergamot and lavender, or lemongrass and lavender, throughout the day. Roman chamomile, cedarwood, ylang ylang, geranium, fennel, carrot seed oil, pomarosa. All of these are in this wonderful blend, and it is a great healthy support. So bone nutrition and phytoestrogen, this is the dynamic duo for women, and it is a wonderful complex. The vitamin D, vitamin C, the calcium, magnesium, and other trace minerals are found in the bone nutrient complex. And with taken together with the phytoestrogen, it actually gives you more protection and more regulation with your hormones. So it's the phytoestrogen is actually a blend of standardized plant phytoestrogens that support hormone balance gently and naturally. And used with the LLV and the bone nutrient, you can stay younger from the inside out. So I like this combination and recommend it for my clients, and it is a great support. So with phytoestrogens and our phytoestrogen lifetime complex, we do have some soy in it, and a lot of people are hesitant because they see the soy, but it's actually a good form of soy that is called genistein, and it's GENISTEIN. And this is the type of soy that is found in Japan. And it, I have this a thing here in our product guide. You can find that either in the back office, or you can go to doTERRA.com and type in phytoestrogen lifetime complex. But every ingredient in this product is derived from a whole food source. The genistein comes from whole soybeans, the lignin comes from flaxseed, and the egalic acid comes from pomegranate. So our bodies then will absorb this in a whole food state for quicker absorption, and I find this to be wonderful for that. So pre and perimenopausal women should take 1 to 2 capsules daily with food, and then postmenopausal women should take 2 capsules daily with food as well. And you will find that your body feels pretty good on it. So here's some testimonies that friends of ours have said using the phytoestrogen and the bone nutrient. My period is now 4 to 5 days in light. I don't have to plan to be home when I have my period anymore. And this would have been wonderful back in my menstruating days, because that first day of my period, I was home. I had to call in sick. It was horrible. Phytoestrogen has changed my life by helping me through my menstrual cramps. What a relief. Love it. Got my monthly crazy sweats under control. So if you are experiencing excessive sweating, this might be good for you. The intensity of my flow and cramping are much less severe. I can't believe I have energy. I have moisture where I was dry, so it does definitely help with vaginal dryness. My hot flashes have decreased significantly, and at my age, where most of my friends are experiencing premenopausal symptoms so far, I have been golden. So the trifecta then would be the Clary Calm, the bone nutrient, and the phytoestrogen, and hopefully you will get some awesome relief with that. So another wonderful essential oil is Whisper, and it's more than just a perfume. It's an adaptogenic essential oil that helps protect our organs and tissues. It soothes PMS. It works as a natural perfume, soothes headaches, and improve all overall general being. And when you put it on, you know, the back of your ears or your wrists or the bottoms of your feet, it's different. The scent is different on every woman, and it's very unique and wonderful. So if you don't like the scent, but you still want to take the benefits of Whisper, you can go ahead and dilute it in a fractionated coconut oil in a roller bottle. So you can pour the whole bottle in, pour the rest of the 5 mils up to equal 10, and roll that on, and you'll still get the same benefits. So grapefruit is another delicious addition to add to your water. It helps control sugar cravings, and it helps boost progesterone, which is wonderful. So when we are under stress, you know, that cortisol is released, and it actually blocks progesterone production. So grapefruit then inhibits the cortisol, from doing that. So you can take several drops in a capsule. You can put it on your tongue. You can put it in your water. I love it in water. And then you can put it on your body to help minimize cellulite, which is a great extra bonus. So you can put it in our fractionated coconut oil, or you can put it in our non-scented wonderful body lotion, which is great, and put it to those problem areas. So another thing that we talk about is pregnancy and postpartum. It is a wonderful combination, doTERRA and pregnancy. Our lifelong vitality packs are significant for the development of a healthy fetus. Not only does it help with making a little baby human, but it also helps with the prenatal vitamins. It's wonderful. Essential oils are fantastic to benefit mom and baby. The quality and purity of utmost importance. And if you know anybody that wants to get pregnant or is pregnant, this is a great book by Stephanie Fritz, Essential Oils for Pregnancy, Birth, and Babies. And it is the combination of essential oils and the Lifelong Vitality Pack is really wonderful for the body. So hormones don't have to be a bad word. You know, stay focused, stay fresh, you know, stay on your prevention and preventative health care that you are seeking using natural solutions. And I wish you all the best. If you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat. But I want to thank you. I hope you were able to get a lot of information to have your journey move forward, and that you were actually able to move that needle on your healthcare. So I am going to say thank you for joining me on this wonderful journey. And I am going to stop the recording. Let's see.